And joining us on the news to talk about this is a legal practitioner, Elvis Asia. Good morning. Glad to have you join me on the news.
It's great to be here.
Okay, let me kick off by asking, as Nigeria celebrates 64 years, anniversary, how do you view the role of the judiciary in supporting national development and also the rule of law?
The role of the judiciary cannot be overemphasized. In fact, in a democracy, judiciary is supposed to be the referee as between the leaders and the people. And so in the last 64 years, there has been a lot of challenges in the way and manner the judicial system serves the nation. If you take your mind back to the military rule, you see that the judiciary was even more effective during the military rule. There were so many decisions of the court, challenging the actions of the military, in terms of maintaining the rule of law within the context of the laws that existed at the time. But in recent times, there has been a lot of challenges, particularly in midwifing, in refereeing the democracy that we got in 1999. There has, to appear that the judiciary hasn't been doing much or doing enough in ensuring that the politicians play by the rules and ensuring that the rule of law is enforced. A few instances will suffice. You look at the way our electoral system is currently handled by the judiciary. Some of the decisions of the judiciary seems to have empowered and emboldened the politicians to continue in the way and manner they manage elections in this country. We just saw what happened in the state, for example. We have also seen the judiciary orders in support of the politicians who wishes to suppress the people, who wishes to prevent protests. We saw it in Lagos, in Abuja, and a few other places where the judiciary keeps issuing orders. In the area of commerce, the judiciary hasn't done much. The delay in justice administration has frustrated businesses, has frustrated commerce, and has made it very difficult for people to invest in Nigeria.
Mr. Asia.
So when you look at yes.
Well, just to follow your thought process, you've highlighted interesting aspects, which you have said, are shortcomings of the electoral system. You also talked about politicizing elections and the likes. Now, looking ahead, as we mark 64 years of independence come tomorrow, October 1st, what legal reforms do you believe should be the priority to enhance the strength of the judiciary?
I think the most important reform that we need to reform the way and manner judges are appointed. We need to make it a merit-based system, like what is currently obtainable in the United Kingdom. This system where politicians can pick people to be judges. This system where the CJN sits on practically all the bodies that are supposed to be in charge of the judiciary. It has not served us well. So we need to find a way to ensure that merit is the order of the day. Judicial positions should be advertised, members of the public should apply, independent body will scrutinize it, and then it will pass on to the appointing authorities. This system where governors, the president, or people can appoint their children as judges can no longer really work. We need to reform it. We also need to reform the way and manner the judiciary disciplines enforced in the judiciary. The National Judicial Council has, done a lot, but it will appear that, from what we see, from the perception of the people, much isn't being done in terms of discipline. I think that has to be done. We need to ensure that the disciplinary bodies are not headed by judges. They are headed by ordinary people, lay persons.
Just to quickly chip in there, talking about judges, you reference also Chief Justice of Nigeria. Now, we have seen different controversies, throwing up regarding the recent increase in salaries and, of course, allowances for judicial officers. Do you think these in any way would influence public perception and trust for them? And if so, how can they better position themselves to gain the trust of the public?
Well, the increase in salary is I don't see any problem with it. Judges deserve it. The work is quite enormous. The problem is not just about judges alone. It's just the environment in which they are made to work. So let us hope that with this increase in salaries, judges will be more committed to be able to earn the trust of the members of the public. For us to earn the trust of members of the public, the first thing we have to do is to find a way to resolve delay in justice administration. I'm just coming from, I just stepped out from a court, a matter that was filed in 2017, and this is 2024, and we still haven't done trials. We need to find a way to ensure that cases move on as quickly as possible. You can't file a case before it gets all the way to the Supreme Court. It takes 20 years. 15 years. In most cases, the parties would have died. And so we need to be able to do that. And then we need to ensure that the electoral process in the country is properly policed by the judiciary. So that, politicians who wishes to flout the laws, who wishes to subvert the will of the people, will be wary of the fact that judgments, can overturn what they have done. But in recent times, we haven't seen serious attempts at overturning any cases of irregularities, and so that must be done to try to earn the trust of the people. And then we also should stand on the side of the rule of law. The rule of law is the most important pillars of a democratic society, and so the judiciary must police it. We can't be granting orders to stop people from protesting or to restrict people to, if in a place like Lagos, you want to restrict people to protest in Freedom Park or wherever, and then so I will have to travel all the way from other parts of Lagos when my protest is about hunger. It doesn't make sense. So we need to ensure that we don't lend the aid of the courts or the judiciary to a system of oppression by the politicians and those who don't want the people to cry out. All of this we need to do to ensure that the people can, rekindle their trust in judiciary.
Indeed, we do look forward to a time in Nigeria when the rule of law will take center stage. Thank you so much for your thoughts on the news. Elvis Asiya, legal practitioner, and may I also say happy independence to you.